How's it going, everybody? My name is Jeremy. Welcome to my channel and thanks for joining. Today, we're going to be talking about my favorite song lyrics from 2021. It's that time of year where a lot of different critics and YouTubers are making their best of lists for music, best albums, best songs, favorite new artists, best performances, etc. Those fields are already pretty saturated with a lot of content, especially in albums and songs. And I thought it'd be a fun zag and just do something a little bit different to talk about my favorite lyrics from this year. Lyrics are something I care about quite a bit, just from my interest in writing and the way artists are interested in articulating themselves through their song lyrics, their stylistic voice. A lot of these things come up in lyrics. I just want to say kind of upfront, I don't think lyrics are the only thing that matters when it comes to songwriting. I mean, there's lots of different components that make songs songs. Like songs are not poetry for that very reason. So anyways, let's get into it and dive in. I've broken up these lyrics probably unnecessarily into categories. This first one is based on imagery where I felt these lyrics I've been thinking about throughout the year that I'm just kind of stuck in, have carried away, and there's a stickiness to them that remains pertinent. And that's why I felt like I had to exercise these images somehow by just talking about the lyrics. This first image comes from Julian Baker, her song Heat Wave from Little Oblivions. Julian Baker is usually one of the kind of pitchfork darlings, usually gets really rave reviews, really strong press from a lot of the underground alternative publications. I think she went a little under the radar this year with this album. I think a lot of people were really let down. I thought it was a pretty strong album. I like it a lot. But anyways, a really strong lyric from the song Heat Wave. It's from the chorus, and I'll get a running start with some of the previous lyrics. I was on a long spiral down before I make it to the ground. I'll wrap Orion's belt around my neck and kick the chair out. Yeah, I've been thinking about this lyric pretty much all year. I think it's phenomenal, extremely sharp imagery. I'd never just thought about that combination of this really grim image of hang yourself, but with the stars above you with Orion's belt. There definitely are a lot of things to read into it about thinking about how, I don't know, your fate, your destiny hangs you to some extent, like it is your death. I don't know if that's what I'm interested, particularly when I think about this lyric. I just think what she penned down was just out of this world. The next song to make my list is from Adult Mom, a song called Berlin, from her album Driver. I kind of barely know this album exists. I saw it on just one random video, gave it a shot, and just loved what I heard. This is from the second verse again, a running start. Today marks the 6th year from when I first met you. A stranger gave us a beer in the hallway of the bathroom, and we drank it real slow. I was trying to get to know you. In the dorm room, we sang Violet by Hole, screaming off our youth. If you ever went to college, if you ever been kind of out at night, you know exactly what it means to scream off your youth. I don't know if I can keep elaborating without just coming off as redundant or just kind of over explaining, over dissecting it. Sometimes you just write lyrics that are framed so concisely and so articulated so well. And yeah, screaming off our youth, it's a perfect lyric. The next song is Inbred from Ethel Cain. I think Ethel Cain will be huge. I mean, her stuff is great. She put out an EP this year, and many of the songs in the EP made my top 50 songs of the year list. It was an extremely strong EP, and I'll ravenously listen to whatever comes next. This lyric comes from the chorus. You can't win them all. Who knows how much longer? I'll lay on the floor. Touch me till I vomit. I'm not scared of God. I'm scared he was gone all along. I think so far, and maybe continue on from here, assuming I have any ability to describe why I like lyrics. I'm not sure exactly like what draws me so magnetically towards this. I think it's the visceralness and the tactileness of this description, like touch me till I do something that's so bodily as vomit. Yeah, I don't know. I think you don't often see song lyrics like this, and when you do, it's just so it just colors your head and makes a memory that you can't pry out super easily. This next category are craft lyrics. I feel like in these lyrics, these songwriters really flex their skill as like in their actual ability to take things that I thought were impossible to capture and really transform them into a song structure and place them into a verse or a chorus. I don't want to say that that's equals good songwriting. I mean, like imagery is great songwriting. What comes later is good songwriting too, but this songwriting might be the most flashiest or impressive just because you otherwise didn't think that you could take complex things and like turn them into something that fits into 4/4 time. This first lyric comes from our girl Japanese Breakfast, Savage Good Boy, from her album Jubilee, one of my favorite albums from this year. And I think Savage Good Boy is probably a top 3 song on the album. Really catchy, just really fun to listen to. Also a great music video with your boy Michael Imperioli coming in and getting his neck bitten. So we love that. This lyrics from the chorus, and the entire thing's blue, so you know it's good. I want to make the money till there's no more to be made. And we will be so wealthy, I'm absolved from questioning that all my bad behavior was just a necessary strain. They're the stakes in the race to win. I think this probably can fit in the imagery camp as well, but I felt like otherwise, like this is like New Yorker profile condensed into 4 lyrics, right? This shifty character that I think we're all sort of familiar with to some extent, someone who has let the business of themselves run them and feels like they're, they can shed off all the consequences that come with their actions as a result of the accumulation of capital, right? I'll also say that in just the last line, there's a subtle internal rhyme with stakes, race. I think that's pretty cool, that internal rhyme that adds the kind of momentum and keeps the inertia going for what Michelle has put forth so far. Ultimately, though, this lyric flexes a lot of strong writing skills, not just songwriting skills, of being able to develop characters quickly, empathize with other people, put their values and their beliefs kind of onto the page succinctly. Like all those things are at play here. And you've otherwise, again, you've taken someone that you could write about for 20 pages and put into 4 words, and you feel like, like exactly who this person is. This next song needs no introduction, Stoned at the Nail Salon by Lorde from Solar Power. Overall, I know people have lukewarm opinions about the album. I do too. I think kind of the latter half is it could be written by anybody, which is unfortunate considering Lorde is otherwise such a sui generis songwriter. But either way, I think Stoned at the Nail Salon, when we look back at Lorde's career, will be a standout song. I think it will be one of her top 10 songs she's written. Again, an entirely blue lyric from the second verse. Got a memory of waiting in your bed wearing only my earrings. We'd go dancing all over the landmines under our town. But the sun has to rise. When it does, we'll divide up the papers. 2 former Hellraisers. I'm still crazy for you, babe. Again, similar to what I said about Michelle with Savage Good Boy, I feel like there's so many strong writing skills just demonstrated in this lyric. This verse in this song is obviously tackling and incorporating many different themes, right? Memory, youth, the fleetingness of your time, the increasing responsibility of it all. A sort of quick tangent on Lorde, but she's a little bit older than I am, but more or less is going through a lot of the same things I'm going through in real time. I think the benefit is that 1, Lorde's such a strong songwriter, and 2, she's a little bit older, like she's 2 years older than me, so maybe has a little bit of a wiser perspective on a lot of these things. So for example, in melodrama, I feel like she was able to articulate so well a lot of the things I was going through my freshman year of college, like in that transition period, especially liability. I mean, it was perfectly articulated a lot of the things that I feel like I was experiencing my freshman year. This song too, I think, in the transition into adulthood and the transition into, frankly, the mundaneness of adult life, that's why it was so impactful for me. And anyways, like I think a top 10 song for me for favorite songs of the year. And this lyric is just fucking out of this world. The last category here is expression. Expression, kind of like craft, maybe a little bit ambiguous. What I mean to say in this category is that these artists take something deep within themselves, pull it out through their creativity, their imagination, their strength as writers, translate it into something that it can be digested by other people, and present it and allow other people to empathize with that. And the lyric that most exemplified this comes from Please Stay by Lucy Dacus from Home Video. Everything Lucy wrote on the song is, out of this world. It's a boy genius reunion, so Phoebe Bridgers and Julian Baker comes back in with harmonies, and they sound fantastic. Just the stars above align in a constellation. It's just otherworldly, just totally perfect. If you only listen to one song from all the songs to describe it, has to be Please Stay. I actually have 2 lyrics from this song that come one after the other. We'll start in verse 2. You tell me you love me like it'll be the last time, like you're playing out the ends of a storyline. I say I love you too because it's true. What else am I supposed to do? maybe bar the door when you move to leave. I think in general, Lucy's strength as a songwriter has always been taking these otherwise small moments of friction between two people, these exchanges of words and emotion, and bring them up to a really high emotional tenor where it's this fever pitch where these emotions are at life or death stakes. I'll be soon uploading a video, I think either this video's coming after or before, of another song I'll be talking about, Dinner by Casey Hill, where there's this sort of overt diaristic quality to the style of the lyrics where I feel like both Casey Hill and Lucy Dacus are able to articulate things within themselves that appear very easy, right? That unlike maybe the Japanese Breakfast and the Lord lyrics, I feel like they're just writing really cleanly and just expressing something that seems a little bit more confessional. The immediately following lyric comes from the chorus. I think you mean what you say when you say you want to die. I think you mean what you say when you say you want to stay alive. I don't know if I'll have any ability to articulate why I love this lyric so much. I think in one part it's because I think I identify really readily with the person Lucy is describing, someone who's like purposefully opaque and purposefully reticent and someone hard to read and almost like doesn't want the best for themselves. Ultimately, I don't think Lucy's making a particular judgment in this lyric. I think she's just observing what she sees and just writes down that both things are true, right? That you have this darker side, you have this more passionate, full of life side, and both things exist within you. And that's what makes it hard for me to be kind of with you as a lover and as a friend, that you won't choose one of these things for yourself. I don't know if I did this song any justice. I think it's like mind-blowingly good. Just give it a listen. Just listen to the harmonies when it comes to the latter part of Stay Alive. Like it's just really strong work. All right, penultimate lyric comes from Maddie Diaz, Man and Me, History of a Feeling. Similar to Adult Mom, I almost barely know this song exists. Like read one Pitchfork review about it, gave it a listen, really enjoyed like the album. I think it's pretty good. And Man and Me has a lot of strong images that are stringed together. From the second half of the first verse, I used to not get scared of shiny new things till I saw you in the shower, sitting on your knees. But when we turn off all the lights, we both get what we want. The last two pair of lyrics of turning off the lights, we both get what we want. Stellar. From the chorus, tell me now whose lips I was kissing. It's all about whose lips I was kissing. The man in me and the woman in you. What I was saying earlier about the Lucy Dacus lyric, where sometimes it's hard to articulate what you like about the lyric. There's also a category of lyrics that you just don't understand at all. Like, I don't really understand what the hell the man in me and the woman in you represents. I think I have some semblance of this idea of like role shifting and pulling out like unexpected characteristics with two different people. But ultimately, though, I think it's like an absurdly great image and expresses something really deep about living with somebody and about being in a relationship with somebody, that like you see all sorts of things within them, and you also see, and as a result, you see all sorts of things within yourself. Wrapping it up, I'm using another Julian Baker song, Song and E. The refrain from this song just cuts you like a knife. It has to be put in this video. So I'm gonna do. I wish you'd come over not to stay. Just tell me that I was your biggest mistake to my face. And then leave me alone in an empty apartment, face down in the carpet. I wish you'd hurt me. It's the mercy I can't take. I mean, there are just some times in your life when you feel like you just want to get eviscerated for the mistakes you've made. Like you feel like you've made such critical errors that like, what do you still believe in me for? You should just destroy me with words, but you won't. In the song as a whole, I mean, Julian's built the scene, built these characters around her, built the the context for it all. And yeah, I mean, just so cleanly expresses, and even the lyric before that, I wish you'd hurt me, pretty outstanding as well. Time stops when you hear Julian say it's the mercy I can't take. I mean, what else can I say? That's great music, that's great songwriting. That's one of my favorite lyrics from 2021.
Okay, hey, it's me from the future. I kind of hated how the outro came out, so I'm re-recording it. There are a couple important links that I put in this video's description. This first one is the Spotify playlist with all the songs in this episode. The next one is a playlist with my 50 favorite songs from this year. I thought I was gonna make a video about my 50 favorite songs, ended up not doing it, which kind of sucks because at least the top 20, 15 songs I really, really did love. But shout out Sharon Van Etten with the #1 song this year, Like I Used To. The third link is to my Substack. Yes, I have a Substack, kind of cringe. There are a couple pieces on there right now of just like old podcast episodes that I did. I'm gonna release 2 new pieces very soon on Radiohead and technology. So that should be pretty exciting. Hopefully you give those a read. And the last thing to mention is that forthcoming, there will be a video that I mentioned in this video about Casey Hill. I paradoxically shot that video before the lyrics video, but I edited this one first. Anyways, the Casey Hill video should be fun. It incorporates kind of memory and the time in my life when I listened to it and kind of why it had such an impact on me. So yeah, should be fun. Hope you give it a try. See you soon.